Rico and Kayla is about to go live online. Catch All Out Monster hit music, All Out celebrity interviews, All Out showbiz and sports news, All Out fun, an exclusive on the Monster. Catch the stream on the Monster Facebook page at RX931, the Monster YouTube channel at RX931, and twitch.tv/Monster RX931. Your All Out hosts, Rico Robles and Kayla Rivera. Stand by and enjoy the program.
All right, Monsters, you know how it goes, man. So the fantastic Friday. This time around, we're being joined by, of course, two greats combined into one. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Joan. Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
Great. How you guys doing? Alan and Steven.
That's right.
Yes.
The two and only. We're great, man. We're back in Arkansas. Just got off of our big headline tour supporting our debut album, Super Glue, and just been home catching up with our girls and catching up in studio stuff, trying to recuperate, get a lot of rest. Yeah, it's been good. Good to be home.
Amazing. And I mean, speaking of Super Glue, we'd love to talk about that track and I mean the journey of it. And especially with the feature of Zach the Budlo, it's a track that we're loving playing on the Monster. So if we could hear about how that collab even came to be, and then maybe even the journey of like songwriting with it.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, as far as the actual song, that was one of the later songs we wrote for the album, and kind of once we wrote it with a friend of ours named Lauren, and kind of that day, once we wrote it, we knew that was the title of the album. It was kind of the answer to all the questions for the album that we were looking for. And it was just this amazing moment of just like, this is what we've been looking for this whole time. It was just like the perfect song for us. It means so much to us. And, whenever we got connected with Zach, we're huge fans of his. And, when he was showing interest in featuring on that song, it literally just like made us so happy. He's an angel. He's so talented. And whenever he sent his vocal, it was just like, I mean, our minds were just blown. It was crazy. Like, I don't know. It was just so fun to hear what his mind wanted to do on it. And yeah, he's just so amazing and so good. So
it's so you could say
really
it's
cool.
destiny and it's a match made in heaven, as they do say.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Going on a headlining tour on your debut album, how does that feel? I mean, is it more nerve-wracking than, this is the first time y'all doing all this, right? I mean, you've done the supporting stuff, but this time around, is it a bigger show when it comes to that? Is there more preparation in terms of the production?
Yeah, it is. It's a big jump to go from support and festivals and to your own show. It's not only is the set list longer and the time slot longer, every little detail is thought of and ironed out over time. And getting to do it in America is cool because it's where we're from, and we get to kind of go city to city and like try things. And we try to like make it from show one to the last show is like the same quality, the same, but like any tour, like you're working out kinks as you go too, you're like, okay, that didn't work as well as we thought it was going to. We need to shorten that. It's like you're constantly editing. And so it probably took 4 or 5 shows to like really feel like, okay, this is the show. So the good thing about this Asian tour is you guys are getting the very edited version, the abridged version of Over Time. So it should be good.
It's a nice refined version of the American version.
Yes.
As they do say. Is there any special things you have in store for all the Philippine fans when you guys go here?
Oh man,
that is a great question. I mean, we've literally like every second of the show is really planned out. It's we've put a lot of thought into it, and this is our biggest show we've ever done. So we're I mean, we feel like we've been building up to this our whole career, and it feels like a really special moment for us. So we're just really excited to come in and come play. It'll be awesome.
And I mean, I was going to ask, with you guys doing so many shows, and I mean, across the States and then now in Asia, how do you guys keep it fresh? I mean, it's the same show that you do in each place, but how do you, just keep it fresh?
Well, I mean, each night is so different crowd wise. Like even in America, there's some cities you'd be surprised you would think would be like just high energy, like the crowd to of all crowds. And then they're like, you get surprised, okay, that was good. But like, I don't know, it's just like it felt a little reserved or whatever it is. And then you go to some town in the middle of seemingly nowhere that's not like a music town and they go nuts. So it's like each night, the crowd energy, my point is, really like helps make it. And so for us, it's like that alone makes it fresh, because the more comfortable they are in the crowd and the more energy they bring, your fans, like, we soak that up and then we like reciprocate. And so like we try to play every show, doesn't matter like whether it's the most reserved crowd of all time or the most, raucous crowd of all time, we're still trying to put on the same show. But man, it helps keep it fresh when everyone really wants to be there and they show you that. And then we're just more comfortable and more confident,
Now, for us, and especially through the many artists we have interviewed, you're the first artist that I've interviewed from Arkansas. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
How's the music scene in Arkansas? How does it go? Is it rock? Is it more on the countryside, or it's a mixture of everything?
It's the music. Little Rock is not a music town at all. Like at all. That doesn't mean we don't have bands here, and that doesn't mean we don't have shows here. We do, but it's more of like, people would call it like a C market in America, probably.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
And it used to be better. It used to be, because we're in between Dallas and Nashville, like on a map. So big band comes through Dallas, you stop in Little Rock, you play on your way. It's like a stop. But it just feels like music is not like a massive priority for people in Little Rock. It's a lot. It's just not that. So anyway, Steven, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
no, that's exactly what I was going to say. It doesn't feel like there's much of a scene here as far as like people doing music full time. And we kind of like that, because we get to play all over the world, and we get to meet, different artists and musicians and people that do music all over the country and all over the world. And when we come back to Arkansas, it almost retreat from all that in a good way. And it's just me and Alan being able to focus on our music, and yeah, that makes it a cool thing for us.
It's like an organic way of making the sound, right? Without being influenced by certain sounds that you got to with a certain location or geography, which really cool, making it uniquely yours. But here on the show, we do have random fun questions. Our time is very, very limited with you guys. I mean, we want to get to know you guys more. How did this duo come about?
Oh, okay. The short version is Steven and I went to the same school, college, at different times. And then we kind of met through different bands that we were playing with at the time. And we just became fast friends. We were both like, that guy's cool. I think we'd be friends if we hung out. And so we did. And he had just graduated, and I was doing music full time, like mainly writing for like film and TV stuff, and just basically holed up in a studio, not a lot of touring and stuff. And we just wrote one day, and just to see what would happen for like film and TV licensing stuff. And we wrote our first single literally the first day. It was called Take Me On. And that song launched everything immediately, from industry people paying attention and all that. And we've literally been nonstop since. Now it's 2017. So
fast forward, that's 6 years.
Yeah.
Kayla.
I was going to ask, I mean, has there been a moment where you guys have felt like, okay, we've made it? And if it hasn't come yet, what moment do you think that would be where you guys are like, okay, we've made it?
I have definitely not felt that.
No.
It not in like a typical success way, but when we finished the album, it was definitely like that was a point hoping to get to in our kind of musical journey. Like, it felt like a milestone just personally. Like, I'm so glad we wrote that. I'm so glad we got that done. It felt like a weight off of my shoulders. I'll also say booking this show was like it feels like something that like we've been building towards for a long time, and so it's like really exciting. It feels like a career moment for sure. Like I don't know. It feels a little bit like we made it to me.
Going on the world tour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
right.
I think to clarify, I mean, for me, I think I think the beautiful thing about what we do, if you frame it in your mind right, is if you can stay away from the idea of like, I've made it or I've found the success, like all the success, whatever that is. To me, the day I feel that, like wholly, not just like one little thing, like wholly feel that, it's like, is this exciting anymore? Like I always want that like thing to chase and like that thing to improve on, and like what's the next stair step? And unfortunately in this career, there's always another stair step. Like it never ends. You know, even Ed Sheeran would say he's still got goals in mind and he's done literally,
True.
you know what I mean? So that's what I mean. But
Now for you guys, I'm sure you guys have some musical heroes, and who are the ones that you have met already? And if so, if you could share.
Yeah. My all-time musical hero is Chris Martin from Coldplay. I have not met him. I mean,
you got to meet him. He's amazing.
Okay.
They were just hanging out last week.
Yeah, I'll give you his number. Yeah.
Okay, I haven't met this person, but I stood 5 feet away from him. My dad and I got to watch the artist James Taylor, old like folk. Yeah, I mean you guys know who he is. Yeah, like crazy classic artist from America. We got to see him side stage because my dad knew his tour manager. I think it was a few years ago, and I got to meet like his keyboardist and some other people. But I'm like sitting there waiting for him to go on, and then my dad just kind of like nudges me, and I look over, and he's like standing like 3 people away from me, and I'm never the guy that's gonna like go say anything, but the tour manager was like, "Whatever you do, just don't approach James," and I was like, "Okay, I won't do anything." So I didn't get to meet him, but in spirit, I did.
Don't say you got a friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's not my friend, unfortunately.
Okay.
How about for you, Steven? Is there anyone that you have met, and like what was that interaction with where you were just like, is this real life? How am I meeting this person?
Probably me, right? Steven, you probably said me.
Honestly, I just find myself, more and more thankful every day to wake up and get to hang out with the very famous and multi-talented Alan Thomas.
Oh man. Shucks.
No, I don't know if I've ever met anybody that felt like I don't know. I felt like awestruck with. I don't know. I'm at least not on the top of my head. Sorry.
Now, you guys did mention earlier about when you guys started. You guys were about writing soundtracks and musical scoring for movies and all that. You have any tips for those who want to get started into music and that's the route they're taking?
Literally, just do it. Like I have so many friends that have asked that same question, or acquaintances, and I'm like, cool, like show me what you've been working on, and then they don't have anything. And so a lot of times it's like there's a big gap between like a hobbyist trying something for the first time, which everyone starts, like I started this, Steven started the same way, everyone starts that way, and then like someone really like giving it their all and trying. And that doesn't necessarily mean like quitting everything you're doing to just do that one thing. Like that doesn't always make sense, but I'd say like the biggest piece of advice is just freaking do it. Like go actually start. If you want to be a songwriter, start writing songs and then show them to people, let them tell you what is not great about them and then get better. Like you just kind of have to like chip. It's like a basketball player in like strength conditioning. Like the best basketball players in the world don't become the best by just like shooting every once in a while. Like they're every day, like working. Yeah. It's the same thing with being in a band and songwriting and stuff. So,
and how many hours you guys put into music every day?
9 to 5, every single day.
Yeah.
Well, 9 to 5. And then like tonight, it's 10 p.m. here. But yeah, we did a normal work day today, and then broke for dinner with our wives and hung out with our girls, put them to bed, and then came, and now we're working again. So yeah, it just depends on the day. But most days our brains don't really turn off as much as our wives wish they did.
And I mean, so what happens like during the day if inspiration strikes? Do you just bring out your phone and just a voice recording, or do you have a notebook you carry with you?
I'm
Yeah,
about to show you.
we are all in the phone.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
the
Yeah.
voice recording.
Going
Wow.
forever.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh,
that's
amazing.
exactly right.
Okay.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Voice memos. And sometimes like it starts with the track. Like today I worked at a coffee shop for half the day, just catching up on stuff. And I had like a song in my head musically that all I had was the bass and the drums. And so I was like, you know what? I'll take like 10 minutes and just like map it out real quick on my computer, just a little 8-bar loop. And I haven't even shown Steven yet, but like I hear the song in my head. Now we just have to write it. So sometimes it's that too, just like really quick kind of sketch. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
We try, like, our main thing is when we have kind of that inspiration, we try to note it in some way, whether that's voice memos or it's on literally the notes app of just like the concept of the song or the idea of the song. So that way, when we do get together, we have a lot of stuff to kind of go from, and we're not waiting for inspiration to strike while we're together. We can kind of just work from
Mhm.
there. Makes it easier.
Here's another interesting question. Can you remember how much money you guys first made when you guys were a group and on the gig? And what did you buy with it? That first paycheck?
oh, well, I mean, the very first show we ever did, I'm pretty sure we didn't get paid anything.
Yeah,
Remember
it
Steve
may have,
Rock
it
show?
may have been $50 or something the first.
Yeah, I mean, it was
first
nothing. It was nothing. So like,
I remember. Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry. I was just gonna say.
Oh.
I remember the first proper tour we did. We got paid $100 a show, and lost so much money because it's just like you have to pay for gas, you have to pay for hotels. There's your $100 right there, just in your hotel. And so it's like, we did several tours where we didn't make any money at all or lost money. It's hard touring. But yeah, I can't remember what our first like proper check was, but
yeah, I think I remember our first like, okay, this is working moment. We both were able to like basically take an advance on an album or an EP rather, and it like helped Steven renovate his house, and it helped me pay off my wife's student loans. Like, it's like things like that where it's like large enough to like actually make some like change in our lives and stuff. And we were both kind of like, okay, this is like we're going somewhere with this. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So but it's still like this is blue, like I think what people don't understand is like this is blue collar work still. Like this is still grind, and we still work every day because we have to and we want to. Like we love it, and we also like are building this brick by brick like every single day.
So people don't, y'all think it's a rock star life. They gotta still pay the real world stuff. You know what I mean? It's just really, really.
That's exactly right.
It gave me Nirvana feels when they were starting. You guys are in a van, get some gas money,
Uh-huh.
that kind of level. And for now, what was the most memorable place you've ever played in?
Oh man.
Well, playing seven shows at 7 different malls in 7 days, that was a pretty memorable trip. We were supporting Han, and literally played 7 mall shows in 7 days, and it was like the craziest shows we've done, and up to that point it was wild.
Yeah. And I'd say the second one that comes to mind, last year when we were in Tokyo, we played a night, and like the promoter was really sweet and was like, hey, just so you know, like Japanese fans can be kind of reserved. So like, just, here just to give you some expectations of energy and all that. We're like, okay, great. We go out there, and it was the most insane crowd. They were so loud and singing every word, and they knew every melody. And like, we just came off the stage like that was not what we expected at all. And like just moments like that, like we're in a new country that we've never been to before, playing in front of people that we've never seen before. We don't know if they're gonna like our. I mean, we know they like bought tickets to see us, so there's like a give in there a little bit, but you just don't know what to expect. It's the same that when we come to some town in America we've never been to. It's like we have no idea really what to expect. And then to see like so many people knowing every single word and just letting go and like having a great night, it's like, that's super memorable to me. So
That's going to be like that in the Philippines. Exactly the
Yeah.
same way. You know, they're not going to sing along. Nobody's going to move. You know, I'm gonna set the level of expectation
Really low.
right here.
we've played in the Philippines enough to know that that's very false.
Kayla.
For sure. And I mean, well, speaking of the Philippines, what message do you guys have for your Filipino fans?
Oh, we like, hey, we love you so much. I mean it when I say like, it feels like we're coming home every time we come to Manila. And we just, I don't know, the fans in the Philippines have like this extra, I don't know, like this extra vibe about them that it feels like we're playing to a hometown crowd. And I don't know, it feels like a warm hug, and it's always a great show and always a great time. And I don't know, we always feel the love there. And so we're very excited to come back, and we hope everybody brings all their friends and their family, and let's just have like a really good show. It's going to be awesome.
You know, the big show is going to be over at the New Frontier Theater, September 19th, 2023, 8 p.m. Of course, brought to you by Live Nation Philippines. This is something big, something exciting. You know, when it's Live Nation, it's got to be the big acts that they do bring in town. Yes, sir. Very, very much excited. Now, here on the Monster, it is our anniversary month for Monster RX93.1. You know, you have any message for all your fans here in the Philippines and all the listeners of Monster?
Yeah, I just want to say, one, thank you so much for playing our music. And if you listen to our music, thank you so much for listening to our music. It truly like means so much to us that we're people from Arkansas and people all the way across the world are listening to our music, and it resonates with them. And yeah, I'm really excited just to have a relationship with you in some way, and it means a lot. So thank you for listening.
How about you, Alan?
Yeah.
Oh, I would say the exact same thing. It blows my mind every morning when I wake up that someone in the Philippines knows a single word of a single song that we've written. So we're so thankful. And yeah, that's all. Exactly what he said. We're so thankful.
Such a proud day today, Kayla. We made friends over in Arkansas. Isn't
I
that
know.
right? Hey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You are our first friend, both of you guys. Our first friends from Arkansas. You know what I mean? But I can't wait to catch a show. And thank you guys for you know, taking time to take this interview. I know it's pretty late out there. It's about 11 o'clock here in the morning. All right. So you guys, you take care. Once again, have a great one. And thank you very much. All right.
Thanks.
Thank you guys.
All right,
Thank
there
you,
you have
Stephen
it,
and Alan. Thank
Monsters.
you.
My name is Rico Robles.
I'm Kayla Rivera.
And this has been another Monster exclusive interview. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Monster exclusive interview. Monster exclusive interview. Only from Manila's hottest. Monster RX 93.1.